Very much. We have a picture here for going to discuss the resolutions to modify
Well, actually, if I was going to then jump to the personnel, which would take a little time, then Mark Beer would be able to, if that's all right with the board. Correct. Thank you. If you move to tab 6, there's a resolution to ratify personnel actions for our professional staff and externally funded TA staff. And immediately after that, you will see a summary of the personnel actions that have taken place since April 16th through July 15th. And behind that, you will see a summary of the salary reductions that were implemented by the university from August 24th to through fiscal year 2021, which will end June 30th. And I can just give you some information on this, on the summary, just to give you some background. The replacement was our new dean for the Batante College of Health and Human Services. Our separations included 11 retirements. And a lot of the, in fact, most of those retirements came in response to the potential of salary reductions and furlough days. So we did get retirements because of that. We allowed people, if they were, furlough days went into effect beginning of July. If people retired before that, their payouts were at their higher rate and not their furlough rate, which did spur retirements. Down to the transfers. The transfers were because of the academic reorganization, just moving a few staff members around. And then the professional administrative layoffs, we had 18 lack of work layoffs that ran from June 1st to July 31st. We had 3 voluntary reduction of force. People could choose to not work and take a layoff for some of that time. And of those 18 layoffs, 4 were recalled before 7/31. And the rest will have been recalled, but they didn't make this report because it ended at 7/15. We have 4 people remaining on layoff, 2 that were from a lack of work that were converted to a lack of fund layoff, 2 lack of fund layoff. Those, we have 4 professional administrative staff that remain on layoff. And during the course of that time, we recalled 4 people early from the lack of work layoff. And I don't know, and the next page is a summary of the salary reductions, if you have any questions on those.
Here's none. I'll entertain a motion to approve tab 6 resolution to ratify personnel. Second. Motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Here, Mark, this is, sit here, I can see that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me. If you could turn to tab 3, please. Resolution to modify discrimination and harassment policy 3356-203. This policy has been clarified to define discrimination and harassment under the standards set forth by Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, and for Title VII purposes only. The policy previously applied to both Title VII and Title IX, and it will no longer apply to Title IX. Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. I climbed the steps coming across. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Can you explain the basis of that change?
Absolutely, yes. The slight change that was made specifically on page 2 and on page 3. This policy previously applied to both Title IX and to Title VII. In order to meet the standard as defined in Title VII, we modified it to read severe or pervasive versus under Title IX, severe and pervasive. Thank you, Trustee Six. We also added specific language located on page 3E to clarify for anyone who alleges sexual harassment as defined under the new Department of Education regs to refer to our new Title IX policy.
These are all statutory things required by
Department of Education, correct.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution to modify discrimination harassment policy 356-2-0-3. Motion. You got a motion, you got a second. All those in favor? Say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item.
Great, thank you. If you could please turn to tab 4. This is a resolution to rescind the sexual misconduct policy 3356-203.1. This policy is being recommended to be rescinded and will be replaced with our new Title IX sexual harassment policy 3356-205.
Got it. Any questions?
I make a motion that we approve.
Got a motion?
Second.
Peters. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Last item. C4.
Great, thank you. Please refer to tab 5. New policy 3356-205, Title IX sexual harassment. This new policy was written as a result of the new and distinctive definitions, processes, and procedures set forth by the U.S. Department of Education Title IX regulations, which went into effect on August 14th, 2020. This new policy also clarifies Title IX and separates it, as we previously talked about, from discrimination and harassment policy, which will be focused solely on Title VII. Some of the changes to the new Title IX policy, as you'll be able to see, are as follows. The standard for unwelcome conduct on behavior as on sex, in line with the new DOE regs, is defined as severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive. And that was a change that they had, that it denies a person equal access to the university program or activity. One of the changes defined was actual knowledge to the institution and clarified our jurisdiction around such. The university is also now required to provide an advisor to both the complainant and the respondent if they so request. The advisor, who will conduct the cross-examination of the opposing parties and any witnesses during such live hearing. The university has responded well, and we already have a trained pool of advisors, decision makers, and appellate officers. Our community has really rallied around this in a very, very short time. We also that training, which ensures our institution's compliance with the Department of Education requirements. And finally, this policy also incorporates the serious misconduct, too many words. Serious misconduct rule board resolution, which clearly defines serious misconduct and what the sanctions a student will receive if found responsible for a serious misconduct violation.
Question? Hearing none, I'll entertain the resolution to approve Title IX sexual harassment policy 3356-2-05.
Motion.
You got a motion? You got a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carried.
That's it.
Any other items? Anything else?
Thank you.
You might want to, background materials, I'm sorry. Might want to take a look. You gotta consider. Please look at it when you get one. Thank you. Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Third is the feelings for our executive committee. All right, so, this position of the minutes, are there any changes, corrections, that were stated previously? Hearing none, I'll stand as presented. Yes, and any new business?
Amen.
I would like to make a motion to add executive session. I move that the board of trustees of Youngstown State University enter executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and or compensation of one or more university employees pursuant to ORC 1.2221, and review collective bargaining negotiations with university employees concerning the compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment pursuant to ORC 121.2234.
Chair Haxton is moved, and may I have a second?
Second.
Got a second?
Secretary, will you please conduct a roll call vote?
Trustees, the chair has requested a roll call vote, a yes vote, being a vote in favor of the motion to enter executive session, and a no vote being not in favor of entering into executive session. Trustee Caparo.
Yes.
Trustee Haxton.
Yes.
Trustee Jackenbach. Yes. Trustee Roberts. Trustee Peterson.
Yes.
Trustee Seals.
Yes.
Trustee Corolla.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan. As I vote yes for the executive session, Chair Haxton, the vote is unanimous to enter into executive session.
At this point, the Lighting Board of Trustees will move to executive session at 5:07 p.m.